Hey guys, welcome to a Noob's review where I, the noob, reviews a tank and gives you my take on that tank. Today we're going to be tackling the M26 Pershing. It is a tier 8 American medium tank. We're going to be taking a look at the stats and looking at some replays, so stay tuned. Alright, so this is the M26 Pershing in the garage. So right off the bat you can see that it has the typical American style hull and turret for the mid to upper tiers of the American mediums and heavies. And I guess in some lights, but yeah, right off the bat I could say that these body styles, these tank styles, are definitely some of my favorites, and the M26 Pershing definitely being no different in that regard. So let's go ahead and get into the stats. Let's see, let me pull this up real quick. Where is it? There it is. Alright, so you can see that it has 1440 hit points. The weight is that I have currently equipped with all of my equipment is 43.27 tons with a load limit of 45.05 tons. The top engine gives you an engine horsepower of 704 with a top speed of 48 kilometers, which it does get around the battlefield quite well. It's definitely not the quickest medium in the game, but it does have decent mobility. It's nothing like a Cromwell or a T20 or anything like that. It is a bigger, heavier, better armored, I should say, tank. So it's definitely a little bit slower. That top speed you'll probably get going downhill or in very smooth terrain, like on roads and things like that. The traverse speed is 38 degrees, which isn't bad. It's not great, but it's not bad. Whole armor on the front, you have 101 millimeters of armor, and on the sides you have 76. But the tracks do act as space armor, of course, so it can eat some shots. And the tracks take up most of the side, but if they're shooting at your sides, chances are they'll be shooting at your turret anyway, which also has 76 millimeters of armor. It only has 50 at the rear. Obviously you're in a medium tank, you don't want to take any shots in the rear from driving any tank, so you want to avoid that at all times. The turret is where this thing shines. It has really good gun depression, so you can poke hills and ridge lines and play style that way to protect the front of your hull. But yeah, the front of the turret has 127 millimeters, but it's nicely angled right here on these weak spots. That's a lot less. So you can get some bounces off that, but you do have a rather large commander's hatch at the top, so you want to try to protect that as much as possible. Wiggle your turret when you're not taking any shots. But you do have this gun mantlet right here that adds a pretty good bit of armor, so if people are shooting at your gun mantlet, they're going to bounce more often than not. The side of the turret, like I said earlier, is 76 degrees. The rear of the turret is 63, so you're going to get pinned pretty much guaranteed by same tier or higher, and a lot of lower tiers can pin that as well. So you definitely want to protect the sides of your tank. It is a medium. So your standard shell damage is actually, let's go ahead and pull up the information. Actually, before we get into that, let's talk about the weak points. Like I said before, the sides of the turret can be weak points, but they can bounce because it is sloped. The front of the hull, you definitely don't want to get shot here. You want to protect your hull at all costs, but if you do, you kind of want to, if you do have to poke, you want to wiggle your tank, I guess, and angle, because this is the machine gun port is a huge weak spot. Your commander's hatch is a weak spot. Yeah, anything on the sides and rear, you're definitely gonna get pinned. So if you can get hull down and protect your hull and only present your turret front when you take shots, you'll do very well. All right, so let's go ahead and read off the gun stats. It's a 90 caliber gun, which doesn't seem very good for a tier 8 tank, but it does have 190 pin with 240 average damage with standard rounds, which is adequate. If you shoot for weak spots to get the sides and rear of tanks, you can pin a lot, but you will have to, especially in tier 10 matches, you will have to shoot your APCR a lot, which has 268 millimeters of penetration, which is passable. You could definitely work with that. At HE, you only have 45 millimeters of penetration. Obviously, you're only going to be shooting HE at soft targets already. Light tanks that well, well, there's a lot of light tanks you can pin with that. So, but the main reason you're going to be shooting your HE is to get crits, track people, get resets when you need a guaranteed reset, things like that. The dispersion at 100 meters is 0.37, so it's not terrible. The aim time is a little slow at 2.3, and it's not very accurate, honestly. That's the downside to a lot of the American larger caliber guns, like the 90mm 105. It's not a really good sniping gun. You definitely don't want to play this tank like a sniper if you can avoid it. You want to get in, do some corridor brawling, flank around the heavies, support your guys whenever you can. Poke ridge lines, take shots like that, but you definitely don't want to camp and snipe because the gun is not reliable enough to do that. Alright, so that's pretty much it for the main stats. I guess we could look at the rate of fire and things like that. Rate of fire currently with my crew and my gun rammer, I have it down to 7.32, which isn't terrible. It's adequate. You can put down some decent amount of fire with those numbers. The turret traverse is a little slow, 38 degrees. It's workable. You can turn your hull at the same time to help get on track if somebody's trying to circle you. The view range is adequate at 400 meters. You can see right now I'm using binoculars. That's only because I haven't spent the credits yet to get coated optics, and I'm probably going to get vents as well. I'm currently saving up to get the T-32, which is the Tier 8 American heavy tank, but that's another story. Signal range at 745. So I guess that's more or less the stats of the Pershing. So we're going to go ahead and get into some replays. Alright, so we are in a Tier 8 match in this replay on Cliff, and you can see by the turret, I don't have the 50 cal on the turret, so this is a not fully upgraded Pershing. This is when I was still grinding it, and it is not a bad grind. I can't really complain. First thing you need to do, in my opinion, is get that top tier gun. Get that 90mm with 190 penetration. The 160 penetration it just feels very lacking. The 190mm makes life a lot easier. You don't have to fire as much APCR when you're in a tier 10. Well, even in a tier 8, you need to fire some APCR, not a lot though. But yeah, so I am playing with Jeremy. He is in his AMX 5100 right there. So I decided I'm going to go over here to the 9 line and support him as well. So yeah, let's go ahead and speed up a little bit till we get to some of the action. And this is the first time I'm trying to do a replay live. We'll see how it goes. You can see right here the enemy AMX 5100 is coming around, as well as Object 416 is spotted. There's IS-6. That's one of, in my opinion, one of the toughest tanks for the Pershing to penetrate from the front. You have to shoot very, very carefully and try to shoot him at the slope of his armor. And right now I can't get it. But the good thing is about the AMX 5100, you can pretty much pin him anywhere. They don't really have that great of armor, and you can see right there, unfortunately, Jeremy was taken out. So it is just me and this T-32 holding up this AMX 5100 and the IS-6 right now. But we are getting some arty fire and some support fire. Take a very risky shot there. I don't think I would ever penetrated that, honestly. Just the angle of his armor right there. He is, like I said, he is taking some shots from arty. There you see him. I just completely missed that shot. I was aiming for the right hand side of his frontal armor because, like I said, it does have the... Actually, let me see if I can do this. How do I do this? There we go. Free cam. So what I'm talking about is right here. See how it is angled on each side? The way he was, I was shooting at this plate right here is a little bit more flatter, but it is still angled back a little bit, so it's definitely a hard shot to hit. I don't really have any shots to his lower plate, and it's really well angled as well. So what I'm trying to do is just find weak spots. Ooh, didn't mean to do that. And if I can, let me slow my camera down a little bit. There we go. Oh, ideally I want to get shots to the side or the top, but our relative positions to each other doesn't really provide that. So like I said, I'm trying to get shots into this little strip right here of angled armor if I can, and if not, shoot towards the flat parts whenever he angles it towards me. So let's go ahead and get back and continue with the replay. Right there, I'd shoot completely in front of me. He definitely penetrates me. He definitely has a pin to go through me. Let's actually see where he pinned me at. Yep, right there, like I was saying earlier, the sides of the mantle of your turret, they're weak spots, so you definitely got to watch out for that. And now the AMX 5100 is pushing. Luckily, I get a decent shot on him, but he does pin me. Where does he pin me at? It looks like he pinned me right there on the front of my hull. So like I said, you definitely got to protect your hull when you're in a battle with the Pershing. And I put a shot finally into him. It looks like I was shot near the front drive wheel. I think that's where it went. And for some reason, this AMX 5100 is just completely ignoring me. So I'm able to just punish him. Unfortunately, a T-32 gets in the way, so I have to hold my shot. I low roll and leave him on 9 health, but luckily our Fury up on the hill is able to get a shot into him. So now it's me, a T-32, and the guys on the hill pushing out this IS-6. So we're able to definitely have the upper hand in this engagement. So right here, let's see, I'm aiming at that little hatch on the front, and that angle is just not great. He definitely pins me again. So I definitely have to pull back. Our T-32, he is damaged as well. He's on 146. We're both one-shots for this this IS-6. So we're playing very attentively. Don't want to push too crazy. The scores are 4-4, so we're still pretty even. Our HPs are relatively the same. They do have an HP lead, so we definitely got to protect as much HP as we can. Wait for the T-32, see if he can't pop up and get a spot. And I notice there's a Yag Tiger to the left. He's injured, so if I can get around and get a flanking shot on him, take him out, that'd be nice. Right here, the IS-6 gives me the side right there, the armor I was telling you about on this front. I was able to penetrate that. So I'm reloading. I'm hoping to get another shot in him as soon as possible. And like I said, this is not a fully upgraded Pershing. I don't think I have the top engine, and I definitely don't have the top turret. So I'm able to put another shot into the side of his turret. He's just focusing on that T-32. He's completely ignoring me. I guess he doesn't think I'm a threat. And I'm able to keep punishing him. He's backing up. He's looking towards me. I take a shot. Luckily, I bounce. I bounce his shot, so that's great. Right here is the shot that made this replay for me. I did hit him, and I set him on fire, so I'm getting tons of damage against this Super Pershing. Just tons of damage. Right there, I racked up 496 damage on that Super Pershing with one shot, bringing my damage to over 2,000. And like I said, a very not fully upgraded Pershing in a tier 8 match. Luckily, it wasn't tier 10, so we didn't have to do too much, or we didn't have to worry too much. So right now, it's 10-6. We do have the lead. We're pushing up. There's the Yag Tiger. Actually, no, the Yag Tiger I was talking about, he's already dead. So this is a different Yag Tiger. The T-29 is dead. I'm trying to get over here and get some shots on things. There's a Challenger who was spotted on full health finally. There's still Type 64 and an M44 artillery on the enemy team that hasn't been spotted yet, but they'll be spotted soon. I'm trying to get over here and get shots on these guys just to get a little bit more damage. Just help my team out if I can, get these flanking shots. Like I said earlier, this tank is not a sniper, but there's really no need for me to push. We have tanks flanking. And right there, that's where the American accuracy on the 90mm really lets you down. I put one shot right in front of him, waiting to reload. And if he backs up, I'm going to try to put a shot into him, and I take him out, luckily. So now it's just the Type 64 that has evidently team killed. He's got -1 kills. He hasn't been spotted. And the M44, Artie, he's still waiting to be spotted. So now we're just pushing up. I'm going to go ahead and speed up just a little bit. There's the tanks, and that's the end of the replay. Alright, so I'm back in a platoon with Jeremy. He's in his AMX 5100 again. And you can see by my turret, I am fully upgraded finally. And we're on Karelia. It's another tier 8 match. So I decided to go north while Jeremy, I believe, goes south to the K line. This is a standard battle, so we know that the standard routes of approach, where you're going to have mediums and lights and TDs going north, and some mediums and lights go and TDs go south, but mainly that's the heavy tank area. There is an area right here where the lights and mediums like to get. That's a very good spot to go to if you do want to have shots into the field and flanking shots to the guys trying to push this way from both sides. That's a very important spot. But yeah, like I said, I'm going up to the north, supporting the IS-2, and we have an AMX 1357F that is heading this way as well. So right now the E-25 has been spotted. He's down around D4. The AMX 12T on the enemy team gets taken out by our OI. Our Tiger P was taken out by SU-152. So no, our SU-152 was taken out by Tiger P. I stopped here side on to take some shots at these guys. I really shouldn't have done this, honestly. But hey, you know, I see some health down here that I'm gonna try to get. I take a shot at this Type 58, get a good pin into the side, more than average damage roll. The average damage of this gun is 240, so that was a decent roll. Not great. Right there, I get a shot to him. I track him and have him stuck out here for a little bit. My reload, he takes a shot at me, misses. Take another shot to finish him off. So right now, the game is 2-1, and I'm gonna take a shot at this E-25, and I bounce. But luckily, Jeremy has actually taken this heavy tank up to the top of the hill, and he's able to take out the E-25. Already shoots and misses me. Now, if you paid attention to the garage, I do not have my Sixth Sense on my commander just yet, so I can't really tell if I've been spotted or not. So I take a shot, take out the T-34 or T-34-85, and now we're going to push on this AMX 13. And what I don't know is that there is actually an enemy IS-3 up here, which is going to, there he is. He takes a shot, tracks me. I don't take any damage. So now I'm just going to try to focus down this AMX real quick, because I really don't want him to flank. So luckily our AMX was putting shots into him as well, and our IS-2, we're able to finish them off real quick. So now it's an IS-2 and a Pershing taking on an IS-3, so we should be alright. I take a shot to the side, but unfortunately he's able to put a shot into my side. So now that's the first damaging shot I've taken. So I'm being a little tentative now because I know Artie has been shooting at me already. Our IS-2 puts a good shot. I'm trying to track him right here. I managed to track him, but no damage. So what I'm going to do is just keep trying to get him tracked for our Artie and our IS-2 to take some shots at him. Take a shot at his lower plate right there. That's a very good place to shoot if you can manage to get to it. He is not tracked anymore, so he's backing up, so I'm going to take another shot at his drive wheel. This time I punched right through and track him, so he's sitting on 377 health, and I'm still at over 1,000, so we have exchanged our HP very well, in my opinion, honestly. And I try to track him, and I get another damaging shot. I don't know if I'm tracking him here or not, because it's not saying I'm getting a critical or anything. I'm not hearing the little bell. And in replays, you don't hear that. Right there, I take 2 shots, one from a J Panther and IS-3, so I'm hurting now. I can't really take too many more shots. I'm over 2,300 damage, so this is definitely one of the better games I've had my Pershing so far. We've got 4 kills, and you can see Jeremy and his AMX 5100s, he has 2, so he's doing well over there. So the J Panther has finally been spotted, and I'm getting hung up on this rock. I'm playing like a complete noob. I'm trying to look for him, but he gets taken out by our ELC, I believe. Yes, it was. So we're pushing on, and now it's pretty much a mop-up roll. So we've only lost 3 tanks. They're down to 5, and it's just going to be a slaughter at this point. So let's go ahead and fast forward to the end. I'm trying to see if I can get shots. I take a shot and I bounce. I take out the prot. So ended up with 5 kills. Unfortunately, Jeremy died, but he had 2 kills. So this is definitely one of my better games. Alright, so that is going to do it for my review of the M26 Pershing, the American Tier 8 medium tank. I really do enjoy this tank. It's definitely growing. I mean, it's definitely fast becoming one of my favorite tanks. As long as you can protect your flanks, you should be doing all right. And if you can get into a situation where you can flank other tanks, you can do some damage and they can wreck them very quickly. So I do appreciate you guys watching. If you like this, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe for more content. Go ahead and share this video if there's anybody you think would enjoy this, and stay tuned for more.